Welcome back to another episode of All Meat, Hold the Anchovies.
Hey everybody, you have entered into my conversation with my buddy Dave. I am Dwaine. So just you're a fly on the wall, and we're talking about a couple of things. So how was your day, David?
Slow. We are very slow right now at work for some reason. It's weird. And we're even shorthanded. And you know how slow days make for slow hours,
Oh man.
slow minutes. Oh my gosh, it just makes it so slow.
Yeah, sometimes my Thursday afternoons, like the last couple hours of Thursday afternoon, I'm like, okay, do I have all my songs memorized? I guess I'll read. And reading when you're bored, bored's not a good word. You know,
Not at work
when
anyway.
you're done with everything else and you're like wishing it was five, you know.
You are still inspiring me though, because when we had that conversation we were talking about music and you said that I spent a lot of time memorizing because
Yeah.
you don't want to look at the wall. And I haven't sent out my letter yet. I'm actually going to send it to you first before I send it to the praise team people. But it's like that's been so stuck in my head now that I am purposefully making eye contact with people because I know these songs for the most part. And I haven't really come right out and said, all right, stop looking at the wall. But it's in my letter to, hey, take a moment and watch last week or watch the last time you sung or you led and see how stiff you are staring at the wall. Because I will turn sideways and sing because I like singing, engaging the whole congregation. And I'll look at my peripheral and I'll see somebody just standing there with the mic and their eyes are right up to the screen.
Right.
Like that's kind of distracting.
Yeah. So what we're talking about, for those that don't know, is hey, fly on the wall. Let me explain something. I'm a worship leader or a worship pastor at a church, which means I lead the singing among a bunch of other stuff that I do. And David works for the government, but he also leads worship at his church. So, and what we're talking about, the back wall, is there are words on the back wall of the songs we're singing because they're kind of like cue words for us. So
Yeah.
they're supposed to be like you read the first word and you remember what verse you're on, you know.
Or even it lets you know the next slide because you get a little glimpse of the next slide.
Yeah.
It lets you know. It lets you know if you're coming to reminds you because we don't use click tracks, so we don't get the bridge coming up or verse 2 or stuff.
Yeah.
Repeat chorus. We don't get that kind of stuff in our service and it's funny because I like not using click tracks because it gives me more freedom.
Yeah, that is.
You know,
There is some value to that. There's also value to the click track saying verse 2, 3, 4.
there is, and I don't mind that at all. But I got folks that are so set in their ways that would throw them off.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, we have some drummers that are young and very good, but really could use a tempo every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts.
Well, even if you don't have the vocal cues in it, I mean, I started using a click machine just for tempo,
Yeah.
probably 10 years ago, right? So, I mean, he just sets the tempo and hits it, and so you got that click, 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 or pop, pop, pop
Right.
on the tempo, and give them a couple weeks, and they'll practice at home, and they'll be fine with it.
So by using that, sorry, we're going to talk a little shop for a moment. By using that, does that start and finish with the song, or is it just continuous at that tempo?
Okay, so we have a little click machine, and he pre-programs the tempos for the music.
Per song, yeah.
And he just hits play, and he'll like subdivide if I need it subdivided, and then when we go to the next song, he'll just hit next, and it'll go to the next click program for the next tempo, and whenever I've told him to do that. So yeah.
So the first setup is not coordinated with Better As One Day. It's just the tempo you picked.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's no cues and there's no instruments or pads or anything like that if you're just using a click machine. I use Ableton, which means it's got some pads in there and some, different sounds in there.
Yeah, we have that.
Cues. Yeah.
We have that. They use it in the modern service when there's instrumentalists missing.
Yeah.
They'll add a few parts now and then.
One time my drummer was gone, and I thought I'll just use the drum track. Yeah, that's kind of weird. So
Yeah. Makes everybody kind of look around like, where's the
they're all
drum?
looking like, what? What? Where are the drummers? Where's the drums coming from?
So did you know, you probably didn't know this, but listening to the podcast that I listened to for my training, um, rarely are churches hiring worship pastors anymore.
Yeah, no.
It's not the thing. So you, just to be clear, you are a full-time worship pastor. You are
Yeah,
a pastor that
yeah,
leads worship in multiple services and multiple all types of music, but you are a full-time 7 day a week pastor. I am not. I am a worship leader for one service at our church, and I do special services at different times, but that is not my full-time job.
yeah. So yeah, I got instrumentalist, I got vocalist, I've got like today I helped a lady with her rent. She came in and we talked for an hour or something like that, and ministered to her, and hospital visits and
Yeah.
phone calls, and then there's the meetings with my team because I got a pretty good sized team and stuff like that. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that I do.
You
So
also have a deep music background that I do not have.
okay, we don't need to keep doing this.
Come on, you're just so great. You're awesome. Well, you talked about letting people know who we were. So I mean, that's kind of a little bit more about who we are.
I know, but the fly on the wall is starting to look at the window. So
He's further down the wall now. He's sliding down the wall.
we should call our listeners the D&D flies. Or yeah, something like that. Anyway, speaking of my team, one of my team members, my audio video lighting coordinator, is resigning. He is going to go work for his father-in-law as an electrician.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not one, so he's learning. So anyway, so we took him, me and my ministry staff, there was about 6 of us. We took him to eat at Five Guys Burgers and Fries today.
For $257.
I bought his in mine. Everyone else
Okay.
But I did pay for us to all go bowl. So we all went bowling.
Oh, wow.
Very competitive. Of course, I'm still in this wrist thing.
I was going to say, did you bowl left-handed?
Guess what my score was?
62. I'm going to go with a low 62.
David, 43.
Wow.
Bowling left-handed is not my forte.
Did you go for the straight or did you try to spin? You didn't spin.
No, man, I was just trying not to hurt myself. It's really awkward to bowl with your other hand. That's really awkward.
Was that today?
Yes.
You're going to be sore tomorrow.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, because you did something with your left hand that you don't normally do that exercise.
David, I go to the gym 3 days a week, and every other time I go to the gym, I work out upper body, which includes my left arm.
You work your left hand. Every other time you work your left
arm. So here I am with one dumbbell doing presses. Other arm just sitting there doing presses. At least I got the cast on so people don't think I'm just weird.
Your other arm's got a big gulp and a donut while it's watching your left hand. The bar.
Leg days isn't, too big of a deal because, I just can't do squats. I can't do free weights like squats and bench presses and stuff like that.
No.
Anyway, the thing about bowling, and I may have told you this before, it's like if you haven't bowled in a while, going bowling, the first game is like, man, why don't we bowl more often? Let's do another game. About halfway through the second game, you stop trying as hard. And if you make it to a third game, third frame, you're like, okay, we're not bowling again for another year.
Yeah.
That's bowling.
That's exactly what happens to me because I might get 140, might get 150 on the first game, and I'm lucky to break 100 the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And by the third game, like you said, I get 4 or 5 frames in. I'm like, gosh, we paid for it. I guess we might as well finish this round but I'm about done throwing that ball.
So here are some
Any nachos left? Any fries left?
Yeah, really. Here are some things I heard while bowling with 5 other people today.
Okay.
Right. Somebody does a bad shot, namely me. Start on the lane. Start on 2 lanes over next time. You might hit it. And then my assistant, she got a strike, right? But she turns around and she's celebrating, and a big F, red F, comes on the screen. She had fouled. And
Did
she
she cross?
goes, "How do you foul in bowling?" And, she crossed the line.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, "What? What? There's a foul in bowling?" Anyway, then I heard it's always that last pin, when they only knock down 9 or
Yep.
something. And then my worship associate, he was bragging on the way to the bowling alley how he had bowled a 166 the last time.
Oh.
So he bowls a gutter, and I'm like, "Well, you're not going to get to 166 doing that." And then a bad shot, you hear, "If you throw a little straighter, you might get a strike."
Yep.
Just these encouraging things people say.
Good church people.
And David, that's terrible. And that any people. So, and of course, everybody when they go bowling does the moonwalk at some point on the slick floor with their slippers. Right? It's like it always happens. All right. Then here's one. I'm getting robbed. And the weird thing about the bowling alley we do is the pins are on strings. They're like on cables or something. So you hit them, and the cables are like loose, right? So you hit them and they fall down just like regular pins. And then it comes down and grabs the pins that aren't knocked down, and then all of the stringed ones just get pulled up. And then you bowl again, and it drops all the pins down.
Are they permanently attached to these?
Yes.
That is weird.
There is one disadvantage that I thought of. If I was good enough to get a 6-10 split, 7-10 split, or whatever, the far two, the way you get those is you have to like really hit the side, and the pin has to go shooting across the lane.
Yeah.
Well, it's attached to a string. That's going to affect how it does that. But I'm not up for it to matter, so it doesn't matter.
That's a good point, though. Yeah.
But we have seen a couple times where it looks like it's going to fall over and it doesn't, and you obviously blame
the string.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why he's getting robbed? Okay, because I was going to say there's nobody that can rob you in bowling except for yourself and your skill sets.
Something's wrong with these pins. You hear that.
Is this new technology?
I guess.
I've never heard of this before.
Well, I know I hadn't either until I saw it. Last time I went bowling. Okay, then there's somebody hit like right down the middle, and they're like, yeah, and then it leaves one pin, and it's about to fall, and it doesn't, and everybody goes, "Oh!" So you hear that? Oh man, so close.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
Wii bowling.
Yes. Oh, one of our guys went, "I'm gonna do it like I'm Wii bowling."
Have you seen the Instagram video? Somebody made one.
Oh no, I haven't.
And they're all bouncing.
Oh, that's funny.
It's pretty funny.
Then there was, you have to admit, those last two were strikes.
In a regular bowling alley.
No, I don't have to admit that because you have a 9 up there, not a 10. This one's terrible, and he was kidding, but I could go home and kill a cat right now. That's how mad I am. It's terrible, but he was kidding. He loves cats. Still.
Right.
And then last frame, guy goes and gets like a 12-pound ball, and it's just like, "I'm just going to throw it down there." Gets a strike. That's the ball I should have been using the whole time.
Yeah.
So anyway, those are some of the things I heard while bowling today.
Well, when we have our cornhole tournament for the men's ministry, I'll get a recorder out and start recording some of the trash talk that goes on.
Yeah, I just had my notes app open.
Yeah.
Just like dictate. Someone would say something, and I'd say, "I just got robbed." The phone. So anyway, I got my cast off Monday.
Has it already been 2 weeks? 3 weeks? I thought it was like 6 weeks or something for that.
I had 2 weeks with the splint thing on there, and then 4 weeks with the cast.
Oh, okay.
So yesterday was the 22nd of May, 2023. For those of you who are listening in 2059.
Through that chip in your head. Yeah.
Yeah, they're listening through brain something. Anyway, they put me in this Velcro thing, which is actually more secure than
Yeah.
it was, and I can tighten it and everything. So guess what I got to do today?
What did you get to do?
I got to go to physical therapy.
Oh.
Yeah, this is not going to be fun.
Oh.
But I have good news. Boy, I'm just dominating today. I'm just talking. I'm doing all the talking.
You are? I'm doing all the listening.
Okay. So I haven't played my PS5 for 6 weeks.
Oh, no.
So,
yes.
And I am like itching to play my PS5. I haven't golfed either, and I want to golf. I don't think I can pull that off yet.
No.
So I said to my physical therapist, would playing my PS5, since I have to move my thumb around, be considered physical therapy, maybe some of my exercises? And she said, yes. She said I could do it. She said, you may not be able to do it, and you may not kill anything, and you may not do it well. But she said it probably don't do it for more than 5 or 10 minutes. But you could consider that some exercise as long as it doesn't hurt. It's weird. They don't want you to hurt when you're doing these exercises, and I'm thinking if it doesn't hurt, it's not working. But they keep telling me stop doing it until it hurts.
But when you're working out, you're working with a muscle that wasn't just torn, just injured. When you're working out, you're working your muscles and you're tearing your muscles a little bit, but they heal. Whereas your thumb was something that was just surgically repaired.
Yeah, they took out the
There's a difference.
They took out a bone, and now there's scar tissue there.
Yeah, but I mean it's still healing. Whereas your muscles, when you're working out, are just different. They just have to heal themselves.
Well, you're really not supposed to. Well, I'm not going to get into all that, but working out until you're sore is not particularly a good thing.
Right. But I'm talking from a coaching perspective with athletes, because I learned this stuff for my soccer players, that the reason we cool down, the reason we walk when we finish playing soccer is so that our muscles don't just, for lack of a better term, freeze and don't heal themselves. Because they got to heal themselves, right? But you're right. Working out till you can't breathe or till you're in so much pain that's ridiculous. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, anyway, and there may be some debate about that, but according to Mind Pump Media, guys, if the next day you're like really sore, then you overdid it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what time is it? We've been on 20 minutes, and I have one more thing to talk about.
Okay.
Unless you have something to talk about.
I pulled up some fact or fiction things, kind of true or false, just some random things.
Oh, let's do it.
I'll pull that up while you're doing your one more thing.
Oh, I got a dash cam for my car.
Oh, so that was that was your video you sent me.
That was me. Yeah.
Wow.
Out of Chick-fil-A.
We just talked about that.
And that lady almost, and the thing is, I honked, right?
Yeah.
And not because I was angry, but I wanted her to know she almost hit me. Right?
Yeah.
And she saw me at the last minute, and she just looked straight forward. So then I pull up beside her just to give her a nice little friendly look. No, seriously. I just pulled up beside her because I wanted to see what she would do. And she just like looking straight forward and would not look at me.
Oh, yeah.
Which was fine. I didn't care. I mean,
you got to honk to say, I saw what you did.
Yeah.
And I don't recommend you doing that, because if I don't honk, you're going to think, oh, they're fine with it. I was just fine. No, you weren't just fine.
You didn't even slow down for the stop sign. You didn't even slow down. By the way, I just talked over you. One of my many gifts.
I'm trying to see how I can open this thing.
Anyway, so I got the dash cam, and I took out the SD card and uploaded the video for you to see, and you saw it. I guess I failed to say this is what happened to me today. But now that I have one, I don't ever want to not have one. I actually feel more, not safe or secure, but I feel more confident that if something were to happen in front of me or someone hit me or something, I'd be able to just say, police, here's my SD card.
Yeah.
Please don't look at the last 3 months of my drive, but look at the most recent 2 minutes.
Just the part between 3:01:15 and 3:01:18. Don't look at anything else.
You do not have permission to look at anything before today.
You'll need a warrant to look at anything else in my dash cam.
And Connie's never allowed to have access to that SD card, or she'll see how many times I go to Whataburger and get milkshakes.
Does it record audio? Yeah, I guess it does because I heard your horn. Yeah.
Well, I have it set up to record audio. You can set it up to not record audio, which is interesting because that means all my phone conversations get recorded. So I need to, and that's not fair to the other people. So I may need to turn that off because I don't want every time. I mean, I wouldn't want somebody recording our phone conversations every time we talked.
Right.
Not that we talk about anything we shouldn't, but anyway, do you hear Pepper barking?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing a Zoom call with somebody the other day, and it was like Pepper's toenails, I think they're called toenails, are
paw nails.
Huh?
Paw nails.
Paw nails? Okay. That makes sense. They're like an inch long. I mean, like I haven't cut those things in years. And
wow.
She walks around the wood floor and just like click, 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 click. It's terrible. All right. Do you have any fact or fiction things before we stop our conversation and you go cook? And
I do. I was going to tell you that Davis, I don't know if you don't play Legend of Zelda or anything, do you?
I haven't in a while. There's a new one that just came out, but
yeah, Davis just got it. He's been playing it like crazy, and I've been watching him. It's kind of fun. We joke about the comments because you have to watch the little story videos.
Oh yeah.
And the lady is like, I'm going to stand beside you. What are they called?
Cutscenes.
Oh, I'm going to work with you. I was supposed to be here from the beginning, and we're going to take on that Demon King and go from there. I'm like, you're going to die. If you try to face that Demon King, you're dead because you got a lot of things you got to collect before you get to Demon King. Davis goes, yep, I know. She's crazy. She wants to go face it now, and it's not going to work. I know. He says, I don't even want to face the Demon King, and it's just a game on TV. So,
go
ahead.
I was playing God of War Ragnarok is what I was playing weeks ago when I had to stop. And I got to this point, and I kept trying to fight. There was like this big, lots of puzzles, and I spent 3 days in that place. And then I got online and kind of read about it just to see, am I doing it in the right order and everything? And it said, if you're not on level 9, you don't have any business being here. I'm like on level 5.
Oh, wow.
No wonder I wasn't beating anybody. I didn't have a chance. So I went off.
See, that's me. I'm like, all right, when you go into the cave of Ramsdale, where do you find the sword? So I Google it.
Actually, Google every step of the way. Nice.
Well, and Davis is very anti-spoiler. He doesn't want to know anything. He wants to inspect every inch of that property or the land, the world that it's in. So I'm kind of glad he's like that. He gets great enjoyment out of it. Yeah. So you know that our skin regenerates, right? Yeah, because you've had cuts and scabs and stuff. How often does our skin regenerate? So the question is, human skin regenerates every week.
Well, you just answered me. You just answered the question.
True or false? Human skin regenerates every week.
False.
Correct. It regenerates every 28 days.
Oh, I was going to say like 4 days. Really? 28 days?
Yeah, with an average of, now this is the internet, so it must be right. With an average of 0.001 to 0.003 ounces of skin flakes every hour.
I know, isn't that weird? It's like all around us are skin flakes.
Yeah. So let's talk about your hair, since I don't have any, or I'm just about out of it. Humans lose an average of 75 strands of hair a month. True or false? 75.
You don't have 75 to lose, so that has to be false.
It is false because humans can lose up to 75 strands in one day. So it can go pretty quick.
You know, our wives lose 150 strands every morning when they're getting ready for whatever they're going.
And it's all on the shower wall. So yeah, not all of it, but some of it, or in the sink, wherever. Who has more bones, adults, or infants?
And this, infants.
Excellent. You're killing
Because
this, man.
the bones go together afterwards.
Right. The heart is the largest internal organ in the body.
False. Wait. False.
The heart. The heart. What is? I did not know this one. I was not.
If the lungs are not organs, then it's the liver.
Very good.
There you go.
I'm getting an ultrasound on my liver tomorrow. What's the largest? Oh,
Why?
go ahead.
Do I need to be worried?
Because some of my blood, one of my lab work results said, let's just do a little more in-depth look at your,
I remember
liver.
you saying that, yeah.
Yeah. So, but what is the overall largest organ? I don't think you get this one. Inside or out? Inside or out?
The skin.
Yes, the skin is considered the largest organ.
This.
You are. Okay, here's a good one just for you because you're so smart.
I am. I mean,
yeah,
100%.
You're acing it. So most of the human brain is made of muscle.
Well, that's
true or false?
It's made of water.
No.
Well, but it's still false.
Okay, the majority of the human brain is made of what? It's not water.
Fat.
Are you reading my lines here?
Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude.
60% is made up of fat, making it the fattiest organ.
No, it's not.
That's up for debate. That's up for debate.
I have proof right here, David. Okay. I created my own bodily organ on the front of me. And it's bigger than my brain. I promise you.
All right, let's do one more human body, then we'll move on to something else. The human eye can distinguish 10 million different colors. True or false?
False. More than that.
It says true. The average human eye contains three cones sensitive to red, green, and blue wavelengths of light. I think you're right. I think it's more than that. All right, we'll do one more since we're going to throw that one out.
Yeah, we're going to throw that one out.
Humans lose more than 80% of heat from their feet. You're going to get this one right.
I'm going to say yes, because you often hear about my feet are cold more than anything else. So I'm going to say yes. True.
9 out of 10. You almost got them all right. 80% of heat is lost through the head. And that's probably if we don't cover it.
During the winter. So.
Yeah, exactly. I remember playing baseball in real cold weather, and my buddy got a home run, inside the park home run. No, it was softball, men's softball. I was on third, so I almost walked home, but he scored on an inside the park homer. And we sat down and he took his ball cap off, and it was probably like 50 or 60 degrees. It was cold, and it was nothing but steam coming up right off his head from the heat from him running.
Should have known that. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay.
All right. You want a little animals or geography?
Animals.
Animals it is. Let's see. The octopus has 7 hearts. True or false?
True.
Oh, you should have gone with geography.
Well, the odds are against me saying true, but I didn't want to go false.
You have a better chance of saying false because it could be so many others.
Yeah.
Because it has 3 hearts and they do a lot of work. 1 heart circulates blood around the body, and the other 2 pump blood past the gills and pick up oxygen. So yeah.
Oh.
All right, here's one for you. You'll know this one. An ant can lift 1,000 times its body weight. True or false?
I'm going to say true, but if it's false, then it's more.
It's false, and it's more. It's 5,000 times your body weight. All right, here's one. Pepper can help you with this one. A dog sweats by panting its tongue.
Dogs don't sweat, but yes, it's through panting. Yes.
Canines sweat through glands in their paws.
What? Do they really?
That's what the internet says. I did not fact check all of these facts.
Yeah, I don't think that's what. Well, okay. No, because when they're walking out on a hot day on the street with you or on sidewalk, they don't leave wet paw prints behind. And
No,
that,
that's why there's hair between their paws to soak up the
oh
sweat.
no, they're not going, and they do it forever afterwards. And I think that's how they. I don't think dogs sweat at all. I think that the way they cool themselves off is through their panting.
Do dogs sweat? Contrary to popular belief, dogs do have sweat glands. They have two types, in fact, sweat glands, but both only produce a very small amount of sweat, which is not very effective in body cooling.
Oh, they do have sweat glands on their skin?
Huh. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, the dog panting thing. There is a good reason for that. I just can't remember what it is.
All right, just a few more.
Yeah, just a few more.
The D&D trivia show.
Let's go to geography. I don't want to pick some of those. Wait a minute, there's some miscellaneous. Well, you want Disney?
No.
No, good. Good for you. Food.
Sure.
This is not, you're going to have to guess this one. What is the most popular pizza topping in the United States?
Cheese.
And it's not cheese, because cheese is not considered a topping. It's considered part of a pizza by definition.
Yeah, pepperoni, obviously.
What's number 2?
Sausage.
No,
mushrooms.
Look at you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Man,
that's right.
Get rid of that cast and you're on fire, man.
That's right. Dwaine Stroud is on fire.
So, okay, then what country does cheesecake come from? It's not America. It's not South America. It's over there in Europe. So
Okay,
which European country does?
This is our last question, because I am now tired of this trivia. I'm going to say France. Paris.
It comes from Greece.
Greece.
One more. I want to ask you one more.
No,
this one's funny.
No, because there's no grease in that.
Yeah, you're definitely tired. All right, one more question. Hawaiian pizza comes from Canada. True or false?
False. It comes from Hawaii. I don't even want to hear anything else. Why else would it be called Hawaiian pizza unless it came from Hawaii? If it came from Canada, then it's called Canadian Hawaiian pizza.
It was created in 1962 by Sam Panopoulos at the Satellite Restaurant in Ontario, Canada.
Had he ever been to Hawaii?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you.
Man, did I tell you my TV went out in my living room?
By the way, you got an A. Not a plus or a minus, but you got an A.
Just an A?
You're really good. Just an A. That real nice one on the wall?
Yeah. Luckily, I bought it July of 22. So it's under warranty. Service Tech is going to come out. But because of that, I'm seriously considering spending $300 on a 5-year warranty with Best Buy.
Mm.
I'm seriously considering it, because if the power board goes out again, that's $300 anyway, plus a service call. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
I so want to comment on the TVs that I own, but I am afraid to, because they've been very good for us.
Gosh, I don't. Why are you afraid to? Oh,
because something
don't
wants
jinx it.
But I buy used TVs.
About? I don't even TVs, dogs. What are you talking about? I don't know. So you can't possibly jinx it, because I don't even know what you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about treadmills. Treadmills have never done you wrong.
That's right.
Treadmills. You know why they never do you wrong? Because you use them for a week and then they sit wherever you put them up with all these great intentions. What are you doing? Oh, showing me a bike. I know that bike's not used because you couldn't get on it where it is.
No, it's actually Bailey's. We were going to use it, but yeah, we shoved it against the wall because it was in the way, because we had to do an air mattress for Gracie.
Yeah.
And it's never come from the wall.
Were all 3 of your kids home?
No, Bailey's in Mesa, Arizona. She lives in Mesa.
I thought I saw pictures at your house. Oh, okay.
Not with Bailey, no.
Okay.
Gracie's been in and out, but she's still living in Farmville.
And Davis still lives at home.
He is still here.
Okay. All right. And your mother-in-law is still there.
Yes. Over there. All right, everybody.
Thank you for being the fly on our wall.
I'm not sure why you're laughing.
You have told me some funny stories.
But not on the podcast.
Okay. Thanks for being a fly on the wall. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next week, or hear you, or you'll hear us next week. Come on, fly on over to our podcast next week.
There you go.
All right. Bye, everybody.